Right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. We've got
Hi.
Adam in today. We're from West Lancs Flips. Adam doesn't have YouTube. He's got an Instagram account, so please follow him at West Lancs Flips. Um, so first of all, Adam, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm early 40s and I live in St Helens, which is about 10 miles away from Liverpool, and I've been reselling now for nearly 2 years. And yeah, I'm part time though, so I work full time for a national water company,
Yeah,
and I work 12-hour shifts, but I've got a good work-life balance, so it enables me on my days off to do the reselling, which is a hobby, but it's just good to have the extra money to supplement what I already do.
yeah. What do you do at the water company?
So basically, my official title is a scheduling analyst, um, and we look after treatment works all over the northwest. So whether that's your drinking water or your wastewater, and we log on remotely to all of the treatment works to see if there's any issues, and alarms will come through and it'll just prompt us to ring engineers out to get them to go and fix the problem.
Oh, nice. It sounds very posh, doesn't it? Scheduling analyzer.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
very,
good. It's good. Been doing it for 3 years now.
yeah,
So, well, 4 years, nearly 4 years, and it's really good. I like it. I like where I work. I like being full time. I like the security of
yeah,
having a full time job. Um, yeah, it's just, and I've got a good work life balance as well with my two children
yeah.
and my wife and stuff like that. So yeah, everything's going swimmingly at the minute.
And that suits like a lot of people, doesn't it? Kind of still working full time and doing the reselling on the side. Like you don't have to go full time. It A lot of people find it benefits them to give them some extra pocket money and things, doesn't it? And just enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Sophie. I would never ever go full time. Never ever.
No.
I, I just don't. What I don't have. One, I don't have that desire,
Yeah,
and I like having the security of a full time job. I don't think I could ever quit my job and go self employed.
yeah,
Not, I believe in what I can do, but
yeah,
I'm just not confident of, if ever the market took a downturn
yeah,
or anything like that. I need that security. I've got my wife
yeah,
and my kids to think about. So, but what
yeah,
it does do is it gives us that little bit extra to do nice things, go on holidays. If we need something like urgently, like I think spoke to you the other day about my car needing a repair. I've got the money straight
yeah,
away in my reselling account and to pay for
yeah.
it there and then, so we don't have to dig into our monthly wages. So it suits us all.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saving mine, like my reselling money to have January off. Um, but I have found like some weeks, like if I've needed like a food shop or something sort of come up, I've because I get paid from eBay every Tuesday.
Yeah,
It has helped kind of buffer things without me having to use like my savings or anything like that.
yeah.
So it does help.
Well, exactly in the current times as it is, everything's ramping up. If you've got that little bit extra there at the side, and it just eases your worries, doesn't it? And it's fun at the end of the day. This is a hobby for me,
Yeah,
and it's apart from the packing, which is the worst bit I would say any reseller has. If there's any
yeah.
resellers who love packing, then they're seriously mental. Um,
I
apart
don't
from that,
mind.
I love it.
I don't mind packing. Like once I get into it, I'm okay. Like if I try and kind of do it every time I sell something or wait till I've got a couple and then pack it, like I find it hard getting the motivation. Say if I've got six things to pack and then I've got to find them all, and I'm like, oh god. But then once I've got them all out and start packing, I'm all right.
I don't I don't mind packing if it's anything what can go in a large letter.
Yeah, yeah,
or or a piece of clothing that could just go in a nice jiffy bag
yeah,
and just get it
yeah.
done. It's
And
the
that is
bigger it's the bigger items what really get to me.
yeah, and that is the nice thing about clothing. Like you can literally just stick it in a shipping bag and off it goes.
Yeah,
Um, I actually had on Vinted today. I posted a um, utensils jar. It was like a ceramic utensils jar, and it arrived smashed, which I was really surprised at because I'd bubble wrapped it, put paper on like the inside of it, put it all, in a box and everything. So I think someone somewhere along the line must have lobbed it. But yeah, I think it's kind of learning that maybe I needed to use a little bit more bubble wrap.
I think ceramics and glassware and houseware is something that I tend to avoid, really, mainly because of that. I don't want to give myself that extra pressure of making sure that everything's wrapped and packaged to a super mega high standard where it's going to withstand people throwing boxes around courier depots. So if
Yeah.
I do pick up any glassware or ceramics, I think the biggest thing I've ever picked up is just like like a beer stein.
Yeah.
That's what I picked up. I don't think I'd pick up anything higher than that.
No. Sorry, I just got to sort that out. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me. Right, hang on. I was going to shut that off a sec. Right, are we okay now?
Yeah, police have gone.
Right, finished deafening everybody. I had like a pop-up come up and it totally like changed my screen, and then I lost the StreamYard screen, so I logged into it again and then it did that. So sorry about that, everybody. Right, we'll just say hello to everyone as well quickly.
Yeah.
So we've got Sharon in. Thanks so much for joining. We've also got Lisa. Hello, thanks so much. Limelight Vinci. Hello. We've also got Kevin from Dreams Reselling in. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining. We've also got Tam and Bell Sal. And Carly at number 53. Hello. Thanks so much for joining. We've also got Tonks in. Hi. Thanks for joining. And we've also got Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks so much for joining, Kevin. What's the time at your end, Kevin? Tonks had a proper rubbish day today. Whole day wasted with that terrible fleek order. Good deed done for the day. Found a bank card, traced person down on Facebook and returned the card. Person didn't know. Oh, Tonks, that sounds awful. What was wrong with like the fleek order? Was it just not good stuff? Oh, it was lost. Oh, what a bad day for you. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Welsh Picker, good evening. How are you all? We're good. Glad I'm listening through my hearing aids. I am sorry about deafening everybody. Do apologise for that. We've also got Geordie Reseller. Hi everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's week's going well. And we're just at the bottom there. So Adam, just tell us sort of what got you into reselling.
So I started off as a video game collecting, keen video game collector. I'd gone through a bad patch in my life, and I wanted to try and focus and just do something that I wanted to do. And I thought collecting video games would be a good idea. So started watching a YouTuber called the Gebs24, and if you're into retro gaming or any gaming or anything like that, she's probably the best content creator in Europe, in my opinion. And I started watching her videos, and I was buying video game lots to sell for a profit. So I'd take all the ones that I wanted and then resell anything else to get that money back. So essentially I was trying to build a video game collection for free. And then, funnily enough, her wife, Jessica, who's known on YouTube as Thrifty Shutterbug, should give her a look out. She's really good. I started watching her videos as well. And then I looked at the people that she was following and, different reseller creators on YouTube. And then, probably like most of us around here, you see George Ross, don't you? He's the, at the time he had probably the most subscribers going. I'm watching George Ross and I'm thinking, this guy's just walking around boot sales, buying trainers, clothes, all sorts. If he could do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And then what the main thing when I really started reselling other things in video games was when all the shops opened back up in April 21.
Yeah.
Went to the charity shops, and then that was it really. I started reselling different stuff from there. Never looked back really. And don't get wrong, there's been a few fails along the way, but
Oh
on
yeah.
the whole, yeah, I've enjoyed it, and it's been really, really good. And one of my first ever pickups was a North Face coat for 25 quid, Summit Series Gore-Tex, and I've never sold it. I've always kept it ever since day one. I kind of keep it as a little reminder to show that that's the start of my journey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Um, Also, so how do you find kind of balancing, like you've kind of mentioned you do get like quite a good work-life balance with your job anyway, but how
Yeah.
do you find kind of balancing obviously like your family life, work life, reseller life? How do you manage to kind of fit it all in?
Yeah, okay. So my work pattern is 12-hour shifts. So I will start on, say for example, I start on Monday next week. I have two 12-hour days, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m., and then I do two night shifts, 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Following that, I get 4 full days off. And then I have to do another two shifts after that. So they can either be days or nights, depending on the department needs covering. And
Yeah.
then I'm off for another 2 days. So although I am working longer hours, I'm only in my office 6 out of 12 days.
Yeah.
So I'm in the office less than 50% of the year. So when I'm at home during the day, my wife's at work. She works full time. My kids are at school or at nursery. I don't, because we can't change the days. Once we're committed to the days that we're with nursery, that's it. You can't really chop and change them. We would save money if we could do that, but we could afford it. It's something that we do need.
Yeah.
So that just gives me a lot of free time at home. After I've done all the housework for the wife and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where the balance comes in, and I work on a 3-day dispatch as well because that
Yeah.
works well with. I can guarantee that I could get stuff out on time, even if I'm on a night shift. I'll make sure my packing's done first
Yeah.
thing in the morning when I get home from the shift. Get it to the post office because I use drop and go, and then I'm back in bed ready for the next day. The only problem is when you're getting offers and all sorts coming through on your phone and you're trying to
Yeah.
sleep and your phone's constantly buzzing. But apart from that, it's perfect. You know what I mean? It's really relatively easy on the whole. And again, another benefit of why part time works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like it works, pretty well for you. Um, I'm just going to go back in the chat
Yeah,
just for a moment. So we've also got Santa Claus, hello from the North Pole. Hoping we're all going to get some good presents this year, Santa.
a label printer, please, Santa.
I wonder where Uncle Albert is, Santa, or where Jeff is, or Packet Boy. Wonder where they are. Um, So for check Instagram later, I will. Grey Day stock was a mess. £586 wasted. Oh, that's a lot of
Wow.
money. Um, Going to try return the whole order for a refund. Yeah, yeah, you should if you're not happy with it because that is a lot of money.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a lot.
do you know which supplier you got it from? Because Fleet kind of they sort of say they pride themselves, don't they, on having like the best suppliers, and they have quite a lengthy process to go to these suppliers to be able to like sell on Fleek. So be interested to know kind of which supplier you got it from, and partly because I don't want to make the same mistake. We've also got Geordie Reseller just doing some listings, so just got it on in the background. No worries, Geordie. Hopefully, we're motivating you to keep listing. Um, Tam and Bell, always a fan of Jebs and Jess, Thrifty Shutterbug.
Um,
I'm gonna have to check these guys out because I haven't seen them before.
they're
So
lovely. Really, really, really good. Honestly, it, Gemma will never understand how much she helped me.
yeah,
Really, I was going through. I'll say I don't mind saying it. So I was at the time I was a gambling addict. I still am a gambling addict. I've not had a bet now for 3.5 years, nearly
Yeah,
4 years now. But just watching her content and just giving me like a different drive to go and just go and focus on something else. And
yeah,
yeah, never look back. She'll never know how much she helped me. She really is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you happy to talk about your gambling?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I think sometimes actually these conversations are like really important to have because you never know who might be seeing it, and I think it's just really important to like have these conversations.
Yeah.
So did you like kind of go to, I know like rehab isn't the right word, but did you kind of have to go to,
Yeah,
yeah, basically,
yeah,
yeah, that's what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
And do you still go to that?
To be honest, I've not been for a couple of years, and that was mainly due to COVID because
Yeah,
there was no virtual way of accessing meetings or anything like that because it's all self-funded.
yeah,
It's not funded like other charities, are, and you don't come across the Gamblers Anonymous charity shop or anything like that, do you? So
no,
every GA membership and GA is self-funded. So yeah, so I haven't been for a couple of years, but I could go whenever I need to or want to. So yeah, but
yeah,
I've not had the urge or anything for, well, as you can see, nearly 4 years now.
yeah.
So
And did that put quite a strain like on your relationship as well?
yeah,
Obviously, like,
yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to go too much into it. It's not
yeah,
for obvious reasons, but
yeah,
it's not ideal. But yeah, I've had like loads of support from everybody at home and work
yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it's good just that you can be so like open and honest about it because there could even be, people in this chat who are gamblers or they could be, people that they know or whatever. So I think like it's always good to kind of have these like conversations as well.
yeah.
We've also got Pete WW, hello all in chat. Um Everyone's saying hello to each other, which is nice. If you want the supply, oh, I will message you, Tonks. I like your you're not going to share it publicly. You're not naming and shaming. Well done, because I would name and shame. That probably says something more about my character than yours. Night's live. Hello, hi Rich. Thanks for joining. Lisa thinks Fleek are expensive. I think they're quite expensive as well. I've got their app, and there's a lot of things I look at, and I'm like, yeah, not
But
gonna.
who actually? I mean, I'm probably new to the table here, but I've never heard of him.
They're like a kind of wholesale place, a bit like Size Vintage and like Pre-Love Kilo, like that kind of thing. But obviously they don't do kilos
All
there.
right, yeah. Yeah, I did bulk media earlier this year
Yeah,
when they was doing. I can't remember how many kilos. I think it was 50. Might have been 50 kilos of
yeah,
charity shop stock. I did that. Um, don't think it's anything I would do again, to be honest. And don't get wrong, I made my money back and made a little bit more, but on the whole, it was a lot of stuff to sort through.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Fleek are they are pretty expensive, and apparently they kind of pride themselves on only like the people that want to like the wholesalers that want to sell their stuff through Fleek. Apparently have to go through like really lengthy checks and things like that. So they say we only have the best of the best, but
Yeah,
obviously it's a bit debatable. I know that Chris Cooking the Haydens, he bought a load of reworked jackets and things off them, and they did like a live together as well. But yeah,
they'll only need good feedback going forward now, really, especially at this time of year, because obviously with the boot sales and
yeah,
everything closed, we can't just rely on charity shops and Facebook Marketplace pickups. So the guys who are selling wholesale, they need good feedback and good reviews, don't they? So
yeah,
bit sad to hear
definitely.
that they've not done well there.
Um, Fleek are like eBay, Adam. They're a marketplace for used clothing via wholesalers. Yeah. We've also got Pete. Hello, Adam. Sorry, just tuned in 5 minutes ago. What's your eBay channel?
It's just West Lancs flips.
No,
All in one word.
We've also got James in. Evening all. Thanks for joining, James. We've also got Sam SJ Carter. Thanks so much for joining. So yeah, tell us about like your best sale then, Adam.
What, in terms of monetary value, or one that has stuck out through?
I think both really. Just one that's kind of stuck out, one that kind of made you the most money, like whichever you sort of think is like your best sale, really.
Yeah. Right. I'd probably say it was one of my very earlier pickups when I first started reselling. It was a pair of Dr. Martens boots, but they were limited edition Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones.
Yeah,
So you can imagine it's an all green boot with like shell kind of print down the sides, and then on the front it's Michelangelo. It was Michelangelo's face with his orange bandana, and obviously, DMs sell well
yeah,
at the best of times. So I paid £20 for these, and I got them sent over from Wigan. Somebody came over from Wigan, which is only the next town to me, but it was just easy to get them posted rather than pay for the petrol. And then I flipped them straight away on Facebook Marketplace the day after for 140. So it was
yeah,
£120 profit straight away, no fees. And it was such a cool item. Um,
yeah,
Another one which was good recently, not for a lot of money, but the return for what I paid was really good. I was in my local charity shop and they had two Starbucks barista aprons, still sealed it in the packaging. So I don't think there was like for retail. I just think somebody had them who
yeah,
probably worked at Starbucks and just given them to the charity shop.
yeah,
And they sold for, they was £3 each, and then I flipped them on eBay for £25 each. One stayed in this country and one went GSP to Italy, and it's just mad some of the things what people will buy. But you
yeah,
just have a hunch and you think Starbucks, it's a good brand name. It would be nice maybe for someone as a Christmas present or something like that. And yeah, it was good, but
yeah.
definitely the Turtles one is
Oh
amazing.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, I always find it really funny, like with GSP, like the amount that people like have to pay for shipping,
Yeah,
and sometimes you kind of think, for that, why? Like you've paid like triple the amount of the item.
yeah.
Like I find it
Well,
like really baffling sometimes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned GSP as well because I bought some Haynes manuals a couple of
Yeah,
weeks ago, and one was for like a Volkswagen Polo in the 1990s.
yeah,
I paid 20p for it, and then I just flipped it for £6. But the postage to Italy, another Italian one, was like 17 quid to for
yeah,
but there's probably not YouTube. See, a lot of people would use YouTube, won't they, to
yeah,
find out how to do something or fix something.
yeah.
But with old cars, I suppose you can't really do that because you
No,
haven't maybe got the old cars to find to fix in the first place.
yeah,
So it's probably a bit of a niche product.
yeah. And I suppose it just kind of depends, like whether someone has filmed themselves doing like that kind of car or not. And I
Yeah,
suppose like more likely they're going to be doing like newer ones, aren't they? Really.
yeah.
I remember once I got locked out on my Mini because the battery went in my key, and I'd just come out of Lidl and I had like a massive like panic on because I was like, oh my god, I can't actually get in the car. So I had to YouTube how to get in a Mini when your keys like run out of battery, and there's like a little thing you flick off on the handle, and then you can move the handle down, and then you can pull out a key from like the round part
Mm,
and then use it. And I was like, oh my god, that was like the first time I'd used YouTube like
yeah.
to find something with like a car. But I was like, oh my god, I can't get in the car.
It is handy if you want to know how to do anything these days. It's either Google or YouTube, isn't it? But
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, we have also got Nina's Tiny Treasure in. Hello, pleased to meet you all. Pleased to meet you, Nina. Thanks so much for joining. Um, We've also got 24 people in the chat at the moment, so thanks everyone for joining, and please give the video a like. Santa Claus has gone to go feed the reindeer. I suppose it's a really busy time, isn't it, Santa? But maybe Uncle Albert will pop in and say hello, perhaps.
He'll be on the night shift soon.
Yeah. Oh, those poor rangers. They got to, get their energy up, haven't they? They got a lot of training to do.
Yeah.
Nina's Tiny Treasures. Hi, just started reselling. Oh my god, best thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Change your life for the better.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I mean, I only started in January this year, so I'm just coming up to like my first year really. But I don't plan on stopping at all, to be honest. Let us know, Nina, if you've got any kind of ambitions to take it further, or whether it's just going to stay as like a bit of a hobby, or what for you. Tam and Bell, new video is processed and hopefully get it out tonight. Great, so we'll watch that after. It's got bloopers in it, especially for you, Rich. I do love a good blooper.
I need to start watching some of your other guests who come on. I'd never even heard of Tam and Bell before until started seeing your chat.
Tam and Bell are amazing. You have to give them a little check out. Yeah. They are amazing.
I'm looking for some new content to watch as well. So.
So you got loads to be getting on with in this chat then. Adam, what's your best sale on the games?
Oof. The best sale for one individual game was a Phoenix Wright game on the Nintendo 3DS. I paid £60 for a full 3DS bundle, so that was the console, a few games. But I noticed the Phoenix Wright game, which was in there, and that sold for £62 on its own. So that basically paid for the whole bundle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I did have a great score this year. This is before I started talking to you, actually, Sophie. There was a fella who lived in Bolton, which is about 25-minute drive away from me. Yeah. And he had a bundle of about 40 to 45 Sega Mega Drive games, all in box, all with manuals, and he sold them to me for £100.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then earlier that day, when I got all the games back, the first thing I always do if I ever pick up any games bundles or retro games, I always go to Gemma first and ask her does she need any for her collection.
Yeah.
It's just something I've always done. She's bought a couple of things in the past, but on that day she bought I think 4 or 5 Mega Drive games from me. We agreed a deal, and I essentially. Once she paid for those games, the rest of the games were complete clear profit.
Yeah.
And it really made a massive upturn in the amount of funds that was in my account after that.
Yeah, I bet.
Because some of the Mega Drive games go for silly money. Money.
Yeah, they do. I've got a Mega Drive on at the moment, actually. It hasn't got any games with it because the games are quite expensive. Even like shitty ones are quite, you're looking at sort of £10 still.
Yeah.
I was surprised it worked, to be fair, because I picked it up for £8 at a car boot, and that's obviously get the leads and that already. So I'd already invested a little bit anyway. And I thought, if I get a couple of games, by the time I sell it, I could even end up just breaking even on it. So I kind of left the games really.
Yeah, it's fun in the video game market really at the minute. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still money to be made there, but you really have to do a bit more research than what you would have had to have done a couple of years ago, say during COVID, because video games were on fire during COVID.
Yeah.
You could sell like a Wii for £80 with Wii Sports.
Yeah.
And I think that's partly because people couldn't get out anyway and do anything, and they couldn't get to shops to buy anything. So the easy way was video games.
Yeah.
There's still decent money to be made there, but you'll have noticed like some of the prices have gone really, really downhill. Like you could sell just a bog standard copy of Wii Sports for 15 to 20 quid. I think you'd be lucky if you get anywhere between 7 to 10 now.
Yeah, definitely.
And I find as well with video games is, and especially selling them, using CEX is a good way to manage your video game inventory, and because you could quickly look on their website and see what they're selling it at, and it gives you a good idea of where the rarity of a game or what price you could be selling it at. But also, what I've done, and I think we spoke about this in the past, I've had like a bundle of games which have been listed on eBay, maybe like a £5 game, a £6 game, and they're just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
And what I've done is I've traded them in at CEX and traded them in for games which have a higher sell-through rate on eBay, so like Pokemon's,
Yeah.
Mario's, and you'll find that use CEX to your advantage.
Yeah.
Trade your stuff in, get your ones that sell through quicker, like we said, your Pokemon's, and you can it kind of like freshens up your store because you're getting rid of dead stock,
Yeah.
but at the same time you're still making the money back from that one sale and only
Yeah.
packaging one item than 4 or 5. It
Yeah.
is easy to do.
Yeah, I think that's a really good tip actually. It's a really good idea. I think like if my bundles don't go, I'll probably end up taking them off and taking them down to CEX and just, swapping them for, like you said. There's a PlayStation 1 game, isn't there, that's worth like thousands. I can't remember whether it's like a Final Fantasy one or like Castlevania or
That's
something
yeah.
like that.
The one of the most rare games on PlayStation 1 is, you're right, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Um, if you find that,
Yeah.
you either keep hold of it for a very long time until the value goes up and up and up,
Yeah.
or you just sell it, because you could probably get anywhere between 350 to 500 depending on condition.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
the one that you need to look at for PlayStation 2 is a game called Rule of Rose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, that is like a holy grail amongst most video game collectors. Apparently, it's not the best game in the world, but it's such a low print, not so many games released.
Yeah.
You can look anywhere between 500 to 1,000 on that, depending on condition.
And that's one of the keys, isn't it? If it's something that hasn't just been like mass produced, like
Yeah,
something that you can't just get, anywhere, um, that's kind of one of the key things to look for, really, isn't it?
yeah. Sealed games as well.
Yeah.
You might if you ever come across any sealed game
Yeah.
when you're out and about, pick it up,
Yeah.
because even if it's like FIFA 11 or FIFA 12 or whatever it is, sealed games still hold a lot of value. I recently sold a copy of FIFA '09 on the Xbox 360, and it's still sealed, and I sold it for a tenner. I paid
Yeah.
50p for it. So that's 20 times your investment,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And and don't be worried about sports games in general. Another good tip in terms of your sports games is, if you see FIFA 19 on the Xbox 360 or the PS3,
Yeah.
pick it up. No matter if it's a decent price, pick it up, because it sells. You can flip it for up to 40 quid, depending on condition.
Yeah.
If you find the last sports games released on the last generation go for quite a high value of money. So,
Yeah.
say for example, it'll probably be like FIFA. I would say like FIFA 26 or whatever. So
Yeah.
whatever the last game is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, pick it up,
Yeah.
because um, it will hold its value.
Yeah. Those are really great tips. Thanks for sharing that, Adam. They're really good tips. Tonks might have a fleet video out this week. Yeah, we'll see see what happens with that. I'll wait with bated breath. Pete W, I love this reselling community. We do. Sorry, it's going down. If Sophie ever joins the modern world and makes some mods, we can drop some links. I know, I keep meaning to make moderators and I keep forgetting about it until literally I come to click on and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't do moderators again. So I I will try and, do that very soon. Nina, I do lots of care. Oh yeah, Rich has his Saturday Night Live show on a Saturday evening. I can't remember what time that goes on, Rich. Is it 7 or 8? Let us know. Nina, it's just a hobby at the moment, but love to make it more one day and start on YouTube too. Yeah, that was kind of like how I started. Like, I just kind of, well, just like I say, I just started in January, and it was just kind of seeing what happened really. But then, because I enjoyed it so much, I decided to try and make more of it and do a YouTube. Well, I didn't do YouTube straight away. I had to kind of be persuaded into that really. But yeah, there's lots of different ways you can kind of go with it as well. Night's Life, my step family are from Bolton. Sharon, that's great, Adam, well done. I do car boots in the summer and just started eBay from September. That's great, Nina. Keep going. You'll have to try and think about your winter. Like, how are you going to source without having the car boots there, unless there is a winter one by you? James T on over 200 subs now. So for you and Sarah, well done.
Nice one.
Sorry, I'm still just like scrolling down. I always get lost all the time in the chat, to be honest. Anyone good for a PSP question? Bought one and it's asking me to download an update, which I can't get to work. Do you know anything about that,
Adam? Possibly. I mean, if you want to send me a message on Instagram later, Pete. My Instagram's Westlank Slips. You can find me on there, and then we could talk about it in detail if you want. The only thing I would say is if it's asking for an update, the first thing I'd be checking is, making sure that it's all connected to the internet properly and things like that. And Sony have really good troubleshooting guides. So if you wanted to go on Google anything PSP troubleshooting, Sony are probably the best to get things sorted. And sometimes it's really a quick fix. I remember my PS4 wouldn't work one time. It just kept on spitting out discs all the time. And basically, on the first PS4s, there's a sensor underneath the eject button, and if you've got dust or anything underneath it, then the console constantly thinks that you're pressing the eject button.
Oh.
So basically, it was just unplug it, wipe underneath, and jobs are good. But yeah, try the Sony website first, Pete. But again, please feel free to send a message, and we can try and sort it out for you.
Dreams gaming stuff gets hoovered up at car boots near me. 20+ people waiting for a car to pull up.
That winds me up. That Kevin, I think it's rude.
Yeah, it is.
Really is.
And we've got Mark Styles. Adam, do you have any Mr. Potato Head legs? Struggling to source them.
He's my workmate. So we work together. We work in a team of two, and he's always laughing about some of the stuff that I bring in and show him which I resell. So he should know I sold the Mr. Potato Head bundle a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Glad you're watching though, Mark.
Thanks for joining, Mark. Some people who got the football on. Apparently Canada are 1-0 down. Pete, writing all your tips down, Adam. Thank you. Very good tips there that's been shared.
Worries.
Hope they help a lot of people here. They're certainly helping me as well. Some FIFA Legend editions go for really good money.
Yeah.
And we got £20 for FIFA 18 or 19 on the Xbox 360 or PS3 months ago.
Yeah. I think FIFA 18 does go for around about the £20 mark, Tam.
Yeah.
But if you get FIFA 19, especially if it's got Ronaldo on, then you can look for anything up to 30 to 40.
I think I need to go through my bundle, because I got that bundle of like 60 games, didn't I, of mixed Xbox, PlayStation. And I did get quite a few FIFAs in there, so I think I need to look to see whether I've got an 18 or 19. Because
even 17 still holds some decent value.
I've got a sealed PlayStation 4 FIFA 20, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to double check my my bundle.
Yeah, definitely go through them. because
Yeah,
there is money there, definite money there.
yeah. I probably would have written it off. Like,
But
oh,
like, but
she's
like we said, but the market is probably going to be saturated with FIFA 20s.
yeah,
If you've
yeah,
just got a standard FIFA 20, it's going to be saturated. If
yeah,
you can get £3 to £4 trading value at CEX, get it,
yeah,
just get it there and build
yeah,
it up over time. Build it up over
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
what Welsh. If anybody watches the Welsh Porky Picker,
Yeah,
if you he does that a lot. He trades a lot of stuff in at CEX and then buys retro games and
yeah,
then sells them on to get his profit that way.
yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to start kind of sorting this out and doing this. I think really.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not CEX's biggest fan.
Yeah,
And I mean, when you go in there, it sometimes it's. I mean, the one where I live in St Helens is pretty rough.
yeah,
It's like the cantina in Mos Eisley in Star Wars. You know what I mean? There's loads of different characters in there, but you've just got to use them to your advantage,
yeah, definitely. Good evening, Chris. Thank you so much for joining.
Chris.
Um, Nina's Tiny Treasure. She's just started YouTube, so give her a little subscribe if you can. Also says no nothing charity shops and wholesalers as I do children's clothing. Nice. Kevin, yeah, can't stand boot divers either. I can't either. I hate when people are like
No.
literally getting inside someone's car. It's just out of order, I think, really, isn't it? People seem to lose like all sorts of manners at the boot sales. Just going down still. Lovely. So, what is your favourite platform to sell on then, Adam?
Well, I only do eBay, Vinted, and Facebook Marketplace. Really, I do have a Depop,
Yeah,
um, but the sales are practically non-existent. And I was using Zip Sale, and because of the amount of clothing that I list monthly, I was paying the £6.99 or whatever it is to have
yeah,
like over 100 items, and I was using it and using it and using it, and I was still not getting sales on Depop. So I was actually at a loss. I probably spent nearly 40 to 50 quid on Zip Sale
yeah,
to improve the efficiency and apparently
yeah,
improve sales. And I didn't get nothing.
yeah,
So I will only list manually on Depop now. If it's like a niche item or something, what I feel as though
yeah.
it's got a bit of value. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace. I'm listing on there, Vinted, eBay, and we've got like a social network at our the place where we work,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's called the Notice Board. And you can like list all your stuff which you want, which people are buying and selling on there. So that's just an extra
Yeah,
platform. What I
yeah,
use.
yeah.
So
That's good. I mean, I do eBay and Vinted as well, and like you, I've stopped listing on Depop because I was just getting sales so once in a blue moon. It just wasn't worth my time really.
mm,
But I don't use any cross listing platforms. I just list manually
yeah,
really.
I do that. I think Depop are well behind the times, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you fully promote your product if you could only put 4 pictures on there?
yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
can't, and you can't send an offer out to a watcher on
No,
Depop like you can with eBay and Vinted.
yeah,
That's, I mean, I don't know how everyone feels or anything like that, but as soon as I see that I can send an offer out to anybody, I do that straight away
yeah,
because I'm not in the business of keeping stock. I want to get rid of it. So
yeah,
if I offer, even if it's like a couple of quid here or 5 quid there on eBay or Vinted, I do it just to get it out. I'm still going to make money on it, and then
yeah,
I could just reinvest that in something else.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Tonks says I find cross listing super fast doing it manually from eBay to Depop. Depop don't
Yeah,
ask for a lot of details. They don't ask for a lot of details, but I have to admit the whole 4 picture thing does annoy me a bit as well. You've got to be quite specific with your 4 pictures, haven't you?
I just think different platforms work for different people, and depending
Yeah,
on what you're selling. I mean, like the luxury pickers, they use Vestiaire and
Yeah.
Etsy and loads of other different platforms. But where my shop is and the stuff that I sell, I don't feel as though I need to use those platforms.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable just using eBay and Vinted at the minute, and
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace. That's what works for me. But I suppose
Yeah.
if you're selling a different type of product, Depop, Vestia, Etsy will probably, work for you. So, but if everyone's getting sales, that's the best thing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got to kind
Yeah.
of go with just what works for you.
Yep.
Lisa agrees, so do I. Just want the stock gone. And Nina also says, yeah, always offer people. Yeah, I always send out, as soon as I've got a watcher on my eBay or someone's favorited something on my Vinted, I send out an offer straight away. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
always bite, but it might persuade them.
Well, I've currently got 10% off on my eBay store at the minute for
Yeah,
running through the Black Friday period. So I've had a couple of sales on that,
yeah,
which haven't been too bad. It's the first time I've offered a coupon, but I just thought a lot of other resellers might do the same. So just
yeah.
something different, isn't it?
I mean, I send out coupons to anytime I've sold something, I send out a coupon, every time. Any tips for starting Vinted? I think the best thing to do is literally just to start. If you are going to be using it as a reseller, then make sure they don't know you're a reseller, because in the terms and conditions, professional resellers aren't really meant to be using it. So make sure you keep your profile, no clues that you're a reseller in there. Don't have like a logo or anything on there. Just have your face, essentially. I've just got a picture of me drumming. So yeah, just keep it as low as you can, really. And just upload, I think maybe start with about 6 items if you can. Just load up
Yeah.
6, and then the next day load up a few more. Next day load up a few more. Yeah, it's a really good platform because you get 100% of the profit. So I would say anyone to use it, but just be very careful about it. Just keep yourself low, really.
Yeah, I would say if you are using Vinted, you've got to be wary in terms of how quick you want your money.
Yeah,
If you, I mean, like a platform like eBay, you could get your money daily if you want to.
yeah,
I'm on daily payouts, that works for me. But
yeah,
with Vinted, you've got to obviously wait for the product to get there. So you could be looking up to at least a week to 10 days to get your money. And
yeah,
sometimes I've had to prompt buyers to ask them to say that the product's okay,
yeah,
because otherwise you have to automatically wait for Vinted to do it.
yeah,
And sometimes you feel as though you're being a bit pushy, but at the end of the day, that money's still sat there, and
yeah.
you might need that to reinvest or whatever. So
It
yeah,
does take a long time for money to move from your pending balance to be able to
yeah,
withdraw, doesn't it? And then even
yeah,
when you withdraw it, it can still take a couple of days after that to, come into your account.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, if you want payment quick, it's not one to rely
no,
on. Which I think is why it's good to sell on eBay and Vinted, really, as
yeah,
well.
yeah, of course, yeah,
But just make sure that if you sell something on one platform, you do delete it off the other platform, because that's something I'm good at not doing, and then having to explain, oh, sorry, this is sold elsewhere, and you do look a bit silly.
yeah,
Um, we've also got Welsh Picker, only sells on eBay. Kevin, I accept offers on every item now. I was a bit of a sucker for sticking at a price for too long. Just turn it over quickly. And he did mean to call you Adam. That's fine.
no
I
worries.
Lee fix it for reselling Neil at one point, and then I settled on just calling him Leal because I couldn't decide whether he was Lee or Neil. So I just call him Leal now. Lisa, don't make it obvious. Yeah, exactly. And just pray you never get caught. Nina, only 2 items today, but think it's because of the postage strike. Yeah, it could well be. I love Vinted, made £14 profit on a polo
Yeah,
shop today. Yeah,
it
that's
is good.
out,
It
really.
is good.
One tip for Vinted: don't make your pictures look like a professional. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there's no danger of that here. Certainly not best forte, to be honest. I am no David Bailey.
SJ says, leaving Vinted to my partner. I only use eBay and my website.
Yeah.
Tonks, hoping to start Vinted soon. Woo says, thanks for the tips. Won't be putting loads. Want to learn first. Yeah, that's all right. We're always here for sharing tips. We don't sell tips. That wasn't what I meant.
Yeah, that's what's good. That's what's good, isn't it, about the whole reselling community? Everybody's got something what they probably specialise in, and they can share it with everybody else.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from other YouTubers, other resellers, and then it's just passing it on forward, isn't it? So
yeah, I think and everyone's quite open to passing things on as well, aren't they? Like everyone kind
of course, yeah. I think everybody wants everybody to succeed, if you know what I mean. Which is good.
Yeah. And we've also got Dreams. Sales been slow this week. 5 items out. Last week was good. At least it's 5 items more than 0. And Tommy Leo Jones. Yeah, that's what I call him. Just Leo now, because I got confused. Like 1 minute I called him Lee, then I called him Neil, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to call you Leo, and that settles it really.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Out of all the people you've watched on YouTube, which YouTuber or reseller did you learn the most from?
I think Chaddy Pete. I mean, I started watching Chaddy Pete, and yeah, I think definitely Chaddy Pete. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, Chris gives out real good advice as well, and he was one of the first I started watching too. Yeah, I think the 2 that definitely come to mind are Chaddy Pete and Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely want to check out, what's it called, the Thrifty Shutterbug?
Thrifty Shutterbug, yeah.
I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them. Depop lowball offers annoy me. I thought eBay. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh, sorry, I did try, but just keep getting watches and no one buying. But I wasn't focused on clothes. I do see Vinted as more for clothes. Yeah, it is really more for clothes.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's got a proper car boot sale.
Yeah,
vibe on it.
Vibe to it.
They sent me an email the other day because I was selling a Barbie sewing machine on there, and apparently it was prohibited on the list of products that you're not allowed to sell. I was like,
weird,
what?
Isn't it?
What?
Is it got an actual needle on there?
Well, no, I'm sure there's some safety mechanism in there to stop your little girl stitching a finger to some clothes. Yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? But
yeah, it's a weird one. I've had a couple of games that they've said you can't list this on here, and I think I tried listing a DVD player on there once, and it said no, you're not allowed to list this.
It is random.
It's random things. It will just suddenly.
I do think they want to stick to going down a clothing route.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah. But then there's other games I've listed that have got ratings of 18 and it never got picked up.
Yeah.
And then other people have got loads of 18 rated games on there, and they're on there. So it is really random. Sometimes it will just pick something out and it'll be like, no, can't list that. Tonks, 1 word messages from buyers on Depop, yeah. It's a lot of like the younger generation that use it, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think I had one that came back with just a K, for like okay, just the letter K.
one guy on Depop called me a knobhead.
Oh really?
Yeah. I can't remember some sort of conversation what we had, and I think he was lowballing me. I was completely nice to him and everything like that, and then he just randomly called me a knobhead because I wouldn't accept his offer. So he got reported and blocked and stuff like that. I can't be doing with that.
No. Ridiculous. SJ, good question. And Tammin Bell says every World Cup game is 15 to 20 minutes longer than the usual 90.
I know, every game's like Fergie time, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like that Iran goalie when we played Iran, he should have been sent off straight away. Like
Yeah.
14 minutes of added time at the end of the first half is just ridiculous. Like it shouldn't be allowed to happen, really. Like
yeah. I don't think this World Cup's going to be one for the history books.
No, but if it will be for the history books, but for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons, yeah. They've got everything wrong, haven't they? I mean, that's opening up a big can of worms, isn't it? But
yeah, I mean,
I'll be watching England on Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still be watching, but the way the BBC opened it, it was the most weirdest opening to a World Cup I've ever seen. It was just like so depressing. I was just like, what the hell is going on here? Depop Too Posh for me, from Nina. And yeah, I think we're at the bottom of the chat. So we've been online for about an hour now, so we'll start wrapping it up. Thanks so much for joining, Adam. Really appreciate it. I've had a really good chat tonight, so thank you so much for that.
No worries.
Thanks for sharing all your little golden nuggets there. It's been really useful.
Thanks for moving the time as well.
Yeah, that's
really appreciate it. 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. in our house is like the witching hour sometimes. Anybody who's got small children could probably appreciate and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah. If you want to follow Adam on Instagram, which I highly recommend that you do, he is at Westlanks Flips. You can't miss his logo. He's got a bright yellow logo on there, so yeah, you can't miss that. So yeah, thanks for joining, everyone, and we're gonna head off. So I'll catch you all in the next video. See you soon.
See you guys. Thanks everyone. Take care.